Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 245 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. Go New York, go New York, go! Hopefully, when this episode comes out, I am recording it a week ahead of time. The New York Knicks have won the NBA championship and or are still competing for an NBA championship. Hopefully, they haven't gotten swept. But if the series is still going on, I have a Patrick Ewing NBA Hoops 1990 sports card. You get the vibes right when you see the old Captain Patrick Ewing with the knee pads. Hopefully he wasn't, sucking a little with those knee pads. Hey, a little homosexual joke there for a Pride Month, but we're moving forward. This is not primarily a Knicks podcast, so we're going to move forward and onward to something more serious, maybe something a bit somber, troublesome, a bit of a conundrum. Many of you, maybe not many of you, but some of you have maybe you found yourself in this situation, this predicament, and you don't know what to do, how to act, or how to behave. It's your wedding day. It's June, right? June is wedding season, and it's your wedding. You are the groom in this scenario. Maybe this is you. Maybe this will be you in sometime in the future. Hopefully not, but maybe it is. And if it is, congratulations for getting married. But there you are. It's your wedding. This is not the reception. This is the actual ceremony. It's a June wedding. It's outside. Maybe it's casual. Dress up, but casual dress up. It's why I'm wearing a tropical Hawaiian shirt. Some people are wearing suits, some family members, some old hags. They're wearing long dresses, like a family that you haven't seen in upwards of a decade, but they'll give you a few $100s, so you send them an invitation, and so to your chagrin, or maybe even to your happiness, they show up. You'll do nothing but more than have a short, awkward conversation with them at some point during the evening, during the reception. Thank you for coming. I'm so surprised you came. We have to see each other more often, not just on these major occasions. And both of you know, both parties, that this is a complete BS conversation, and that it will, the next time the two of you see each other, you and this extended family member, is probably going to be at a funeral. Hopefully it's neither of yours. Well, at least hopefully it's not yours. If it's theirs, you got your wedding gift money from them, so you made out well. But they dress in a suit, and it's off the rack. The shoulders are too wide. The sleeves are the jacket are too far. The dress shoes are no name. It's synthetic leather. It's an unpleasant sight. Thankfully, they're not in the first row because they're extended family, so they're towards the back. No one will notice them other than just dressing hideous. Just, come on. You're 64 years old. Go get a tailor suit. Be a grown up for once in your life, for your nephew's wedding. But he's not the main part of this event. Again, he's towards the back of the seating. He does not have front row. And honestly, you're not dressed that better yourself either. You went to the local tuxedo rental place. You got yourself a nice tuxedo. It's got a pink tie, a pastel pink tie that matches the flower arrangement that your bride-to-be picked out. You don't love pink. You're a masculine man. But again, it's Pride Month, so you go with it. You're not going to fight your future wife over the color of a tie that you're wearing at your own wedding, even though it is 50% of your wedding, and you should have say over what it is you get to wear at your wedding. But again, choose your battles, as husbands will tell you, and this is the battle you choose not to fight. So you're wearing your pastel pink tie, and oddly enough, even though you didn't want to wear the pink tie, but you held your tongue, you didn't tell your future bride to be this. It's the best looking part of the suit. The rest, it's an odd navy blue, and it's missing a button. But you just got your suit yesterday. from the tuxedo rental place. So they don't have buttons. The seamstress, she wasn't there, and the pants are a little too long. And similar to your weird uncle who's not dressed well in the back that I just talked about, you're wearing rented shoes. Very odd, right? You're wearing shoes that are not your own at your wedding. The two places you wear shoes that are not your own are at your wedding and when you go bowling. That shouldn't be the case, but it is. Very odd. Have you ever thought about that? But these shoes, they fit you. They're synthetic leather. Obviously, they're not Goodyear welted. They fit. They don't hurt, but you do know that when you dance later at the reception, you're probably going to get a blister. And afterwards, that blister is going to be very painful the next day. And you're going on your honeymoon to Hawaii, Oahu, Waikiki Beach, 2 days from now. And you're not going to be able to walk very much or without pain there. So these shoes that you rented from the tuxedo place, rental place, ruins your honeymoon. But we'll get to your honeymoon. This is just about the wedding. But that's in the back of your mind. You're there. You're lined up. You and the groomsmen. You and the boys. You're looking back at them. You're all wearing these shoes that are not yours. These dress shoes. And they're just flat. There's no significance to them. And they're going to hurt your feet. You know that. Because you like to dance. You're a fun guy. That's why a babe decided to marry you or say yes to you. But that's it's not at the forefront of your mind, but it's on your mind. It's simmering back there. It will come to the forefront when that blister comes to the forefront on the bottom of your heel. But you're looking back at your best man, who's not really your best man. It's just your brother. And you only have one brother, so he kind of has to be your best man. But you haven't had any real. You have a good relationship, but he's not your best man. You haven't been through the wars with him like the men behind the best men, the groomsmen. Those are the ones you went to college with or high school. You drank, and they saw you fuck. Maybe you Eiffel Towered someone together. Maybe one of them even fucked your bride to be. Very, very awkward spot. We're not going to talk about it here, like in this line, but it happened. We all know about it. Elephant in the room, but no one talks about the elephant in the room. So I'm not going to talk about it either. But you have your best man who's only your best man because you're related and it's your only related brother. So if you don't choose him as your best man, everybody in the crowd is going to question your relationship that you and your brother have. And you don't want that. You don't want that incoming drama. So you chicken out and decide to choose your brother as your best man, as you should. As an outsider, I say you should do that as well. But it has to be pointed out, and to be man, I'm the one to point that out. But your boys, you're looking at them. Most of them are married, and most of them have fucked a lot more than you have. They were Chads. You were not a Chad, right? Your mid-30s. This was the only woman who would say yes to you. You met her off a dating app 3 years ago. She looked better in her photos than when you met her in person, but she was good looking enough, and she had a sniz. She offered up her sniz to you, and the relationship was fine. Is it a loving relationship? Yeah, I said I love you. You said I love you within 6 months of meeting her, and you meant it. But just there was no passion behind it. But we'll get to the bride to be. But these guys that are your groomsmen, they fucked so much more than you. They have such a better personality. They all married hotties. So maybe one or two of them have fucked your bride to be. People get around these days. What can you say? And it bothers you. It shouldn't bother you. This is your day. You're marrying your bride. But you're looking back at those guys going, well, they had more fun in their singlehood than I had in my singlehood. And my singlehood is going to end within the next 20 minutes. I can't catch up to their fun that the groomsmen had in the next 20 minutes. Because if I were to fuck somebody or several babes within the next 20 minutes, that would cause more drama than if I were not to choose my brother to be my best man. And this is all kind of, it's going in your head. And You're kind of thinking about everything but your bride to be, who is yet to walk down the aisle with that song and have everybody stand up. And you're there. You didn't get to walk down the aisle. You're a little upset about that. Why didn't I get to walk down the aisle? I paid for this wedding, or at least half of it. I had no input. I have to wear a pink tie. I have to pay for 3/4 of this wedding. I bought you a $4,000 engagement ring, and I don't get to walk down the aisle. People don't rise, stand up, take photos of me. I think I have a right to be a little upset about this. And maybe you are too if you're in this situation. But you're the groom, and you're kind of your brother, the groomsmen, their fun lives, your life that's fun, but not as fun as theirs. And you're looking at the crowd, and you see your parents, and they're happy and they're smiling. And honestly, they're happy and they're smiling, but they're just happy that that there was someone who's actually willing to marry you, and they might actually get some grandchildren from you because you've been a bit of a fuck up. Yeah, you're 36-year-old. You're getting married at age 36. And there were no prior engagements or serious relationships. You have a nice job. You're part of the union. You have benefits. You even have a pension. But you never come out and you never come home and help help your parents with the yard work, put up the Christmas lights. You come home every couple of weeks. Your mom cooks for you. You have a lovely meal, but then you go home. You never call her. You never call your father. Maybe you go to one Knicks game a year with your father. Right? It's a good relationship. It's a strong relationship. But it's not that. It's not that. And again, the parents they want some grandchildren. And you're 36. And your wife to be, she's 37. So I hope you two get fucking to it like tonight. Give us some grandchildren on your wedding night. Get to it. Get to it. Now, you don't know they're thinking that. You think those smiles are genuine, that your parents and your siblings are giving you, and your cousins that you actually know. And you're 36, so you don't have many friends left. You have a couple of work buddies, a couple guys from college, a couple guys from the softball team are there. They're already hammered. And they're kind of on your mind. And come on, guys, we're mid-30s. You can get through the ceremony before you get reckless. But again, you're not in your 20s anymore, so you're not too worried about that. And again, you're not comfortable because it isn't your own suit. Again, you rented this suit. It's a summer day, and the cotton is as thick as can be. Like slaves during slavery, they couldn't pick this cotton because it's so thick and heavy. So you're sweating bullets. Your back is wet. It's just soaking wet. Disgusting. And your bride to be hasn't even come down the aisle. We haven't even started to give our vows yet, and I'm already sweaty, a sweaty mess. I should have been a black guy with a towel and black comedian. And I should have brought a towel with me to wipe down my forehead. I'm sweating bullets here. So you're there, and it kind of hits you in that moment when you're pondering all these scenarios. You're looking at the audience. And you paid for everybody, and you probably have a solid relationship with 12 of them. 12 of the 85 people, you're not worried about having an awkward conversation with. All right, even your groomsmen, 3 of them, you've seen twice within the last year, and that's only because you had to see them at the stag party and the bachelor party, and the rehearsal dinner. So you're looking at this crowd, and you're starting to think about the money you put into this wedding, $20,000+ to marry a 37-year-old woman, and she's what, a year and a half past the wall, and you put $20,000 into a wedding for her, plus the $4,000 engagement ring, plus the $3,000 wedding dress, which you had to compromise. And again, let's not forget about the pink pastel tie that she's making you wear. And it kind of hits you in that moment. You're not happy. Everybody told you your wedding day is supposed to be the happiest day of your life. It's going to be the biggest party. Everyone you love's going to be there. Celebrate your life, your love, your union with your soon-to-be bride. But in that moment, you're not happy. It's almost the opposite. You have no feeling. There's just thoughts, rummaging in your head, but there's no feeling. There's no love. There's no, uh, the only real feeling you have is the wet stickiness of your dress shirt sticking on your back from your sweat. That's what you're feeling the most. That and the thoughts that are rummaging up in your head, which are causing you conflict. But the feeling of love, of happiness, of empathy, you don't feel any of that. But and you notice that in the moment. Wait, I'm not feeling giddy right now. But you tell yourself, oh, wait till your bride walks down the aisle and the music hits. All right, 10 minutes late. Your wife to be, she's always been late. Your first date, the Bumble, Hinge, whatever dating app site, she showed up 20 minutes late. Didn't even apologize for being 20 minutes late. You probably should have left before she even arrived late. But you're a beta male, so you stayed. You had no other options. You don't have an abundance of women. All right? She was the last option. She was the only one who said yes to you to go on a date. And now she's going to say yes to get married to you. Or she has, but now we're going to finalize it. And you've already, this is another thing, you're already married. Or you did all the paperwork, you went to town hall. So you have actually been married for 2 weeks now. But this is just the official outward party, that the mirage that is the actual marriage wedding ceremony, just the hoopla to go along with the paperwork that you signed 2 weeks ago. So you can't get out because you're already in. You signed the paperwork. You're Mr. and Mrs. whatever your last names are. Hopefully she'll take your last name. Hopefully I'm not talking to a guy who was willing to take his wife's last name. You're better than that. Maybe you're not. Hopefully you are, but maybe you're not. I mean, you are a fan of Purple Graffiti. She starts walking down the aisle, and you're already married. But that's neither here nor there. But it's definitely here. She walks down, everyone gets up, claps, there's crying, people taking photos. She's a bride, but she's not a beautiful bride, and she's 37. If you're getting married over the age of 30, it's a bit of embarrassing. It's a humiliation ritual. Again, another elephant in the room. Actually, you know what? This is her second marriage. You're number 2. The guy she really loved, that didn't work out. She's been single for 7 years now, or single for 4 and then dating you for 3. And again, really, you're the best she can do as well. So even though this is her second marriage, she's walking down the aisle and people are happy, but half the people at this wedding have seen her in another wedding dress when she was younger. Hadn't hit the wall yet. More beautiful, more firm, more elasticity to her skin, more vibrancy to her, just her overall energy. Again, this is her second time, but you gotta pretend to celebrate like it's the first time, because it's her first wedding with you. So she's walking down the aisle. She gets, she gets to you. She's wearing a veil, which is very odd because she's been married before. She gave her vow. She gave her life till death do us part to another man. That's not you. And she broke that vow. And yet you agreed to make those vows to her, knowing she's a breaker of vows. Just pointing that out. Again, another elephant in the room that no one's going to mention, but I'm the B-man. And we're not at this ceremony, so I'm going to point it out. She's wearing a veil. She's had sex with 23 men. Purity? I'm not going to say she's not pure. I'm only going to say her purity should not have a veil in front of it. All right? And if you're going to wear a wedding dress, if you want to cover up, fine. But veil over the head, that's for virginity. This is not a virginity marriage. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying you didn't really need the veil. And again, it's 87 degrees and humid out. It is mid-June after all. Go New York, go New York, go. So you're there at a veil, and everyone sits down. There's a moment of silence. Not telling everyone to be silent. Just everyone agrees to be silent and take in the moment. And after that's done, you take the vow, and as you're pulling it over her face, back on back of her hair, and you make sure not to mess it up, because she paid to get that hair done, $180. Again, another bill you're going to have to pay. So now this wedding costs $20,000, 180 whatever dollars plus tip. She's wearing too much makeup. We notice many brides, they often wear too much makeup. You get professional makeup done on your wedding day, and you kind of look like a clown. A transvestite clown. You have a natural beauty to you, your bride. It's fading. She's 37. But she does have a natural beauty to her. But you can't see it through that eighth of an inch of makeup. And she's got lipstick on her teeth. And she knows it. She asks you, how's my makeup look? And this is the last lie you'll tell her before you say, I do. You say, you look great. You've never looked better. It's a lie. You can barely see her face. She has so much makeup. And even though she has so much makeup, you can see the wrinkles. Those wrinkles on the eyes and a little bit on the lip. She got lip injections, but it didn't take. So her top lip is it's just a little puffy. It's noticeable that she had injections done last year. So her face it's a little mangled. It's a little wrinkly. And it's covered completely with makeup, far too much makeup. And you look at your soon-to-be wife, bride, and it hits you that I don't want to marry this woman. But I'm already married to her. We did the paperwork. There's a crowd of 85 people here. My best man, my groomsmen, who had such better lives than I did during their single days. Again, that's still in your head. And you're looking at the bride and the priest or whoever. It's probably not a priest, probably a friend of yours who's doing the vows and telling you what to say and all that jazz. And you're looking at your bride to be. And you say, oh, shit, I made a mistake. I don't want to marry you. You do marry her, though, because you're already married to her. You have the paperwork. Everyone's there. You can't run away now. You paid $20,000 for this wedding, so you're going to go through with it. But in your head, this marriage is over even before I say I do. Right? Before whoever is giving the ceremony, the priest or whomever, before he even says a word, while you're looking in your soon-to-be bride's eyes, you start thinking back about all the other babes you fucked before you fucked your bride-to-be. And how many of them had bigger tits, bigger jigglers, who were more flexible, louder, more enthusiastic. Not many. You've only had sex with 12, but that's above the average. 12 women. Of the 12, most of the time you're drunk, so you remember 9 of them, vaguely. I don't know if they could say the same about you. And you look out in the crowd, and even though you're related to half of those people, there's probably at least 10 women, babes, that you'd rather fuck tonight than your bride-to-be. Again, not your family members, but the other side of the family, soon-to-be family, her side of the family. And you're, well, I'm marrying the ugly sister. I'm marrying... It's not even that she's ugly. Like, she's pretty. Heck, she's better looking than I am. You, the groom. But you're looking at her and you go, your hair, it's too much hairspray, too much makeup. You have lipstick on your teeth. I don't love you. Like, you've always known you never loved your wife. to be, soon to be bride. You said I love you, but you didn't feel the love. But you didn't realize you didn't feel the love till you're standing beside her about to say I do. Put you in quite the pickle. Quite the pickle. You say I do because you're a coward and you go through with it all. You don't fuck that night. Most brides and husbands, grooms don't fuck on the wedding night. She told you not, you had a couple cocktails. She kind of pulled them away to make sure you didn't get too drunk. You know that's just the beginning. She's always going to be pulling drinks away from you. Anytime you try to have fun, she'll try to pull it back. She sets that tone during the reception. Hell, during the cocktail hour, she takes that drink from you. And that wedding, it wasn't miserable. I mean, it was pleasant, but I mean, barely a pleasant day. It was pleasant in that you didn't have to go to work, and like that. And you've had awesome weekends. This was a forgettable weekend that will only be memorable because of all the photos taken and the bills you have to pay afterwards, or maybe you paid before for this wedding event that you put on. And now you're Mr. and Mrs. and you have to go home to her because your home is her home. Life. All right, let's move forward. All right, this next one comes from the subreddit Clavicular. We've talked about him before. Mr. Clav literally ditched his stream 15 minutes to go have sex with this Russian girl. I'll put the photo right here. Sorry, so Clav meets this OF Russian girl at a boat party. He takes her and 20 other girls back to his place at an after party. All right, so he's on a yacht, Mr. Clavicular, and he fucks a Russian OnlyFans babe. And she's a babe. Like, she looks like... I'm not going to get into her. Let's just talk about Mr. Clavicle. I'm jealous. I'm not going to tell you I'm not jealous of Mr. Clavicular's life. To the victor goes all the spoils. And who gets more spoils than Mr. Clavicle? All right. What's more spoils than being on your yacht with your girlfriend? I think Clavicular has a girlfriend who is a goblin. I'm invested in Mr. Clavicular, but from afar. Like, if you ask me everything about his life, I know who he is. I know kind of what he does. He mocks people. That's why I ran 4 miles today. It's why I do my best to stay skinny, to be groomed, so that when I go out in the world, that I don't get as mogged as much as I possibly could. All right? That's honestly why I don't go to Chipotle. Because what if Mr. Clavicular is there and he tries to mock me? I have no defense. I'm not looks maxing. I haven't been hammering my face to try to break my bones and get a stronger jaw to look more appealing to the opposite sex. Mr. Clavicular has been doing that for upwards of a decade now. He's been taking the hammer, looks maxing, sticking things in his face, doing it. He's at the front of science with all the medications that make himself to the looks max to the looks max. And when you do that, like Mr. Clavicular has, you get to live stream on a yacht and leave for 15 minutes on your own live stream to go rearrange the insides of a foreign OnlyFans babe. I don't even know what title to give her. Who's got a better life than that? I've never been on a yacht. I've never had my own live stream. I've never had a friend. I've never had a party on a yacht that's on my own live stream. And I've never left my own party to go fuck rearrange the insides of some babes for 15 minutes and then come back to the party like nothing happened. That's never happened to the B-man. Especially like a stranger babe. I've thrown plenty of parties at my parents' house. I've been to plenty of parties. I remember being in college in UConn, going to frat parties, and they accidentally walking in on people having sex, and I go, oh, my bad. Or at house parties, in my teens and early 20s, and they go, oh, my bad, and then leave. I've never been the guy who's been walked in on having sex. I have fucked a little bit, after parties, but not during parties. Not in some back room while we could hear the music going in the main room. That's never been me. Right? But I'm not a look smaxer. I try to look good, but I would not identify myself as a look smaxer, and that's why I don't get to rearrange the babes, at the parties, because they look smaxers do that. I was the one getting mocked, opening up the door. You see the fucking, you go, oh, my bad, and then you close the door. Hey, I'm not cock blocked. I have cock blocked because, as you can tell, I talk a lot. And sometimes I say stuff, or I have opinions that I state out loud that are, how would I describe what some of the things I say are off-putting, questionable, offensive, and as a wingman, that has kind of fucked up my friend's chance at fucking, but I never did it intentionally. I'm not a intentional cock block. I have accidentally, or just the way I am, ended up being a cock block. But when I realized it afterwards, I've always apologized. Heartfelt apology. Like, I'm sorry. Were you two gonna? There have been plenty of mornings or next days or Monday afternoons where I've gone to a friend of mine and go, hey, did I fuck that? Like, I didn't mean to be a cock block. Like, I was drinking. I'm a weirdo. Like, I didn't mean to step in between you two or ruin the vibe. And almost always the guy's been like, yeah, you did kind of fuck it up, but like, you're the B, man. How can I hate you? Like, we all know who you're like. We know you weren't trying to block my cock. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not clavicular. He gets to live this lifestyle because he's put in the work. He's banging his face. He's doing it all. And I'm in awe of his life. I'm fixated on Mr. Clavicular. Like any guy who's on a yacht, who's not like a $100 million athlete, or like Jeff Bezos, or owns some multi-billion-dollar company. If you're just some guy who's 20, who somehow became famous through looks maxing, through some incel forum, and you come to the mainstream and you get a lot of traction, you become a streamer. Whatever you say about streamers, like it's difficult to gain a following on the internet. Like, look at me. We're 245 episodes in, and I'm yet to have 100 subscribers. This episode might get 15 views on YouTube. On the actual podcast, maybe 5. So like, I know the difficulty of gaining a following. So when just a normal person, and I wouldn't say Mr. Clavicular is normal now, but before we knew who Clavicular was, he was just a normal guy from whatever state he was from. So the fact that I know who he is, like that's awe-inspiring. I'm not saying I look up to him. It's just I look at him and go, oh, tip of my penis. Good for you. You gained a following. And what he's done with that influence and that notoriety, he goes on a party, does some blow, and fucks some Russian OF babe in his yacht, leaves his live stream to do so. How can you not give Clavicular a tip of your penis? Good for you. You're living life. Now, we know this isn't going to end well. Mr. Clavicular's life, that is. We've all seen Boogie Nights. We know how this ends. It doesn't end, this is not a Disney ending to his life. But right now, he's living his life. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of you that are going to point at Clavicular like, this guy has no morals. Well, kids look up to him. That's what's wrong with society. And maybe you're right. Maybe you'll get married. You'll have 5, 7 kids. You'll have grandkids. You'll be retired. You get to travel the world with your wife or your husband. Get to go to a lot of weddings. You have grandchildren and grandchildren, and you're in some retirement home. Right? You didn't have to go to a nursing home because your kids take care of you. You had the perfect life. Well, that's not everybody. Most of you are going to die alone. And at least Clavicular, his ending's going to be terrible, but right now, he's mogging you. Like, he's living a lifestyle, the rich and famous. He's fucking OnlyFans babes, domestic and foreign. He's on a yacht. He's being paid millions of dollars. He's collecting STDs like they're Pokemon cards. He's living it. He's living a life. He's living in a fast lane. And let's be honest, when we're on the highway, we all want to be in the fast lane. Anybody who drives a speed limit or just a snidge bit above the speed limit, they're annoying as fuck. We want to be in the fast lane. Move over. I got places to be. That's Mr. Clavicular. Again, we've seen Boogie Nights. We know he's going to end up in a coma, or he's going to be in a pickup truck having to blow some guy to get some money to get his fix. We've seen it. We've seen what happened to Dirk Diggler. That's going to happen to Clavicular. But that's in the future. That's next decade. None of us might not be here a decade from now. So he's living it. He's living life fast. It's going to end miserably, having to suck a stranger's dick in a pre-owned 2014 pickup truck, for $50 so he could get his fix. Right? All his friends, everyone who's on this yacht with him right now, they won't be there. They're like cockroaches. As soon as the lights turn on, they'll scatter away because they can't get anything from Clavicular because they'll have nothing else to give. But till those lights turn on, or until the next decade comes, he, Mr. Clavicular, is living the life that I could admit I'm a bit jealous of. And I will say, him having sex for 15 minutes, that's the perfect amount of time to have sex. 15 minutes, that's enough for foreplay, to get all lathered up, to get your erection, to get her sniz all wet. You nibble on the clit, play with the jigglers, a little bit of slapping, you slip it in, you pound her, you rearrange her insides. She has a good time, you have a good time, you get the horniness out of you. Then you go back to the yacht party and your live stream. And I think both sexes would agree that 15 minutes, that's the perfect amount of time for sex. It's so good for him. And his girlfriend, she can't complain. Because from what I hear, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Clavicular's girlfriend. But people on the internet tell me she's kind of a goblin, at least compared to Mr. Looksmax. So she's got she can't argue. Because if she really is a goblin, and she, if in the world of hypergamy, Mr. Clavicular is probably the best guy she's ever going to get. So if he leaves for 15 minutes to go fuck a Russian OF girl while the girlfriend is at the party, the girlfriend, she can't complain because she can't do any better than Mr. Clavicular. Hey, if you're engaged in hypergamy, them are the rules. All right, if you're going to break up with them, go ahead. But you're not going to get a higher status guy, a better looking guy than Mr. Clavicular. I mean, who can? Very few babes. Very few babes. I will say this. Mr. Clavicular. I'd give him a super chat of $50 to smell his penis. Let me explain. Let me explain. I don't want to touch his penis. I want to sniff the shaft of his penis. Because if he's on a yacht party and he's fucking a foreign OF babe, I mean, that's what he does. He goes out, he looks maxes, he mogs guys, he steals their girlfriends, and then he has sex with them for 15 minutes. So he probably has, his dick probably smells, like 50 at a, he probably has a scent of 50, 20 to 25-year-old vaginas on his penis at any given time. So I want to sniff that. I want to smell those vaginas all together, all those juices. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is to give Mr. Clavicular a super chat on one of his live streams and, make this proposition. Here's $50. Can I sniff the shaft of your penis, Mr. Clavicular? Again, I'm never going to be the looks maxer. I'm 42. Those days are far gone. Look at these newly arms. I'm not a looks maxer. I'll attempt to mog you, but most likely, if you have a hot girlfriend, I am not the one who's going to mog you. So the best I can do is just sniff the penis of somebody who does get the fuck these hot 9s and 10s and all these exotic looking babes out there in the world. But hey, Mr. Clavicular, he gets all the spoils, but he put in the work. So good for him. Good for him. The rest of you, go suck a fat one.